Okay, so now we're going to learn how to measure out our grid. First, we need to talk about rulers a little bit. If you're using one of the clear rulers, notice that on our inch side, which is this bigger measurement, the actual end or the start of the measurement is at the 0, which the line is right here. It's not the end of the ruler. You need to pay attention to this when you're measuring, otherwise your measurements will all be off. If you're using the silver ruler, the starting point or the 0 is the end of the ruler. So this should butt up to the edge of your paper to get the correct measurements. We're going to be using a 2-inch grid. So basically every 2 inches you want to make a mark on your paper. Let me show you how. To make a grid exact, first we want to measure the top of our paper. Line up your ruler with the 0 on the edge of the paper, or if you're using the silver, that one will be the actual edge of the ruler. So I'll do both. So at the top here, I have my ruler at the 0 with the edge of my paper. This will give me the correct measurements. I'm going to make a very light dot every 2 inches. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. I'm going to do the same thing across the bottom. Remember, my silver ruler is going to go right to the edge of my paper. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. To make a straight line, I'm going to start connecting my dots. So you'll need the silver ruler for this part. There'll be a few at each table. Put your ruler at the dot at the top, bring it to the dot at the bottom, and make a very light line. And then just continue on, matching up your dots, very light line. If you're not matching up your dots, you're not going to get a straight line. You won't have a straight grid. So it's very imperative that you take your time to line up your dots. Okay, now you should have 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now to create our squares, we need to measure across both sides. You can use this either with the silver ruler or the clear ruler, and we're measuring off every 2 inches again. So remember, the edge of this ruler needs to go to the edge of the paper, and then you're marking off every 2 inches. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Very light marks. Bring your ruler over to the other side, edge of the paper, and very light marks again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Now this ruler, you can see, has been kind of rubbed off where the inch marks are, so make sure you pay attention to that, or grab a clear ruler and double check that your measurements are correct. There should be 2 inches between each space. Now you're going to connect those lines. So this first dot connected to this dot. Very lightly. I'm barely putting any pressure on my pencil, basically letting it just float over the paper. Again, you want to make sure that you're connecting dot to dot so that your grid is the same. On our self-portraits, the grid is 1 inch. on our painting, the grid will be 2 inches. So we're basically blowing up our image onto a bigger surface. Okay, so now we should have a 6 by 9 grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.